This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour,
supported by Albertsons
and brought to you by
Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. It's Miller time. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Luke Casey, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team. And by Omni. Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your hosts, Haley Sutton and Brad Shand.
And welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Cowboys Hour. We are at Concrete Cowboy in the Star District in Frisco. It's our official Victory Monday fan club says it is look ahead to Victory Monday.
So
Monday.
previewing, foreshadowing.
It's previewing next week's Victory Monday. And we could not have a better guest to get us through the frustration of week 6 and 1 of 17 because he's smart and he is articulate. And it won't help you on the radio, but if you stream on DallasCowboys.com, you will see the dazzling smile of Jayron Kearse.
There
JK.
it is.
and if we weren't sure it was you, the bling will remind us. Thanks for, hey, seriously, man, thank you for being here.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm glad to be here.
We were on the same airplane, and so I know what time you landed, but I think that people would be interested to know an athlete's day. There's nothing very forgiving about the calendar when you play on the road. So the plane landed about 3:30. JK, take it from there. What'd you do?
Get on the road, head back home in McKinney. Got home probably around like about 4:30. Sleep for a couple hours. Up at 11 o'clock to come in, lift, run, get some treatment, get some work done on the body. After that, went home, got a massage, and then I'm here now. So.
And how do you feel?
I feel as good as I'm going to feel. I would say, I wish I could have got a little more sleep, but off tomorrow, so I'll get it in tonight.
Can you go right to sleep one way or another, win or lose, after a game?
Nah, not really. Especially not since I was in pain, so I couldn't go right to sleep.
What hurt?
My knee hurt, shoulder, back. You name it, it hurts.
Name it, it hurts.
So, as far as the winning and the losing aspect of it doesn't really keep me up too much because knowing that, like we just spoke about shortly, it's week 6. Losing that game is big, especially since it's a rivalry, but it's not the end of the season for us. It's not the end of the world. We're still going to have opportunity to go out there and achieve everything that we wanted to achieve when we came into this year. So, that's really about it. Not really putting too much into it. We're going to see them again, and that's about all that.
I say every year, many times, my favorite part about doing this program is giving the audience. And by the way, thank you those of you who come out on the breezy patio at Concrete Cowboy. Thank you. By the way, Haley, there's only 2 of them like me wearing short sleeves.
I know. I'm
you
over here struggling.
You're layered.
I'm barely layered, though.
You're
My
layered.
toes right now are
Stop.
so, like, this guy's flexing his arm with his short sleeves
I
out.
know.
I can't even imagine
You can
right
put
now.
that away. Thank you. We really don't. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what I really love is the opportunity to make the players three-dimensional, so you all get to see them as the human beings they are, the people they are, not just a number wearing a cage on their head running around. And so we don't think about what they go through physically after a game. So you're playing at 8:30 at night local time. You play the game. Everything hurts. You get on the plane. That's real comfortable, flying home, right, after a game.
I will say, though, Christy brought me back some of the cookies that, not just me, she brought them back, but some of the cookies you guys get on the plane. Those are pretty good.
They are pretty good. They are pretty good.
They are. Did you hear the part about his knee and his back?
I'm just trying to find the silver lining.
There's
when you're
only
hurting,
so much
a
cookies
cookie
can do
make
for that.
You feel better.
So here's the thing: when you're a real young player, But you be sore, and then by Tuesday you're bouncing around. Maybe next time you practice Wednesday, you're ready to go. So what are you, 6 years in the league?
7.
7 years in the
yeah.
league. So at this stage of your career, you're not 30 yet, are you?
Nah.
No. Nah. What day of the week normally do you start to feel pretty good?
The body starts feeling good for me Friday, but Thursday is our padded practice, and that's the closest you're going to get to the game before you get to the game. So you kind of just mentally have to get yourself to the point where Thursday I have to go as hard as I physically can, because this is the closest I'm going to get to the game before I actually get to the game. So, but when we have that day off on Friday, we're in the building just doing a lot of maintenance on our body, a lot of treatments, getting things done that we need to get done to get us ready for that game. And that's the day that I really start to feel like, okay, like my legs are back under me, and everything is feeling good to get me ready for that game. But Wednesday is a extremely mental day for me and a lot of the guys.
I like that smile.
So
shows you how mental it actually is.
So and then Thursday, when the pads go on, guys just, we have to mentally take ourselves to, like, push ourselves to get through that day. And we have a lot of guys that we know each other. We've been around each other long enough to know if a guy's not feeling it that day or maybe needs to be picked up. Then we got a lot of guys that does the picking up and helps get the rest of the guys through the practice.
Oh, that's interesting. Who does the picking up?
It just depends, because it may be some days where I need to be picked up, and you got guys like Donovan, Malik, that pick me up. We're pretty close, us three. So those are just some of the guys that, if they see me down, they pick me up. If I see vice versa, trying to get those guys going.
All right, speaking of picking up, I just cannot forget about asking you about this. So I believe it was after their second touchdown. I think it was in Los Angeles when the Rams scored. D-Lock got the whole defense up and held church.
Mm-hmm.
And then last night, if I have this right, after their second touchdown, D-Law called everybody up, and you held church.
Yeah.
What was that all about? What'd you say? To the extent you can repeat it.
I mean, it just was, we felt like, early on in that game, guys were trying to do too much. Guys was trying to make the big play rather than letting the big play come to them. And, we weren't too gap sound. Guys getting out of their gaps, and then, the back finding that gap that you just jumped out of, which gave them a couple good runs, and ultimately gave up the touchdown run. Just trying to let guys know, like, if we do our job, and the play comes our way, we make the play rather than trying to chase the play, because at the end of the day, when you chase the play, you rarely make the play. So especially going against a team like Philly, and the things they do good kind of takes away the things we do good. They play small ball. They make you read your keys, and you can't really tee off on the quarterback like that. How our front likes to do. So it was just about really staying in the moment and not trying to do too much.
All of that is so unlike how you've played over the last 4 games. Did it surprise those of you who are the leaders when you look up and say, what are we doing? Who are we?
Yeah, it did. Just because the way we see ourselves as a defense, when you go out there and before you know it, you're down 14-0. No matter where they get the ball at, if they spot the ball at the 1 yard line, we feel like as good as we are, we should get a turnover or hold them to 3. And just in that particular moment, we weren't able to do that. So it just kind of was like gut wrenching that, like, this is not our brand of football. This is not who we are as a defense. And fortunately, we were able to get out there in the second half and start the second half how we should have started the game, which would have gave us a much better chance to win the game. But it all just comes with it. It's part of learning and just showing who we are. But we got to understand that we can't put ourselves in that position and then go in halftime and have these pep talks and then come out and play like that. If we come out and play like that from the start of the game, we don't even put ourselves in that position.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that as well. I know you kind of just touched on it a little bit, but what do you learn about yourself, about this defense, about this team in a game, a physical game like Sunday's game?
You look around and you see guys that's gonna fight to the end. Coming back out, I believe 17-3. You see guys that's not going to give up. You see guys that when we got in that locker room, guys didn't hang their heads down. Guys were ready to go, ready to get back on the field so we can go out there and be who we are as a defense. So, it was good that we were able to do that. As soon as we got in the locker room, I just preached on this is when we show who we are. Everything is not going to be how it was against the Rams where the first third down we're scoring a touchdown, or the Giants where you're just suffocating them, or the Cincinnati where you're doing all these things at a high level. Every game's not going to go like that. So when you do get in those moments where offense is gaining momentum and moving the ball, it's a time where you just have to put your foot down and say, all right, that's enough of that, and we're going to do what we're here to do and play our type of football.
Dan Quinn has talked about the cohesion that you guys have as a unit, as a defense. I know you talked about your three-headed monster, which we'll get to in a little bit. But do games like Philly yesterday, how does that exemplify the closeness, the cohesion, the chemistry that you guys have on defense?
For me, it's just I don't think it really shows much until next week. Like, when we get out the next week, then you see, okay, well, this is what went on last week. Let's see if they correct that problem and get out there and eliminate that issue. So I think that's a question. That's a question I can answer next week.
Good to know.
And then
she knows where to find you.
I guess just
she
ready
knows
to say, I
to
know
find
where
you.
you're at, so I'll come ask
She'll be
you.
coming around asking that question next week. Jayron Kearse is our guest. We are at Concrete Cowboy, the Star District in Frisco. We are so delighted to have you with us, whether you are here in person, for which we thank you very much. A great place to watch baseball if it stops raining in New York, and the Monday night game, and have a great meal. And we appreciate you listening anywhere you might be doing that on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network or streaming on DallasCowboys.com. There's your little camera, JK. Wave to the people in your little camera right there. There we go. We'll be back with Jayron Kearse
right
on the Cowboys Hour.
To the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Welcome back to the Concrete Cowboy here for the Cowboys Hour, which, by the way, is presented by Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. On this Monday, we are joined by safety Jayron Kearse. Jayron, we've talked a lot about the game, not necessarily the result that anybody in the franchise wanted, but we move ahead to the Lions, a team that you're familiar with. You spent some time there. What are you looking forward to in this matchup coming up?
For me, just a win. Not putting too much into it. Whether it's somewhere I played or not, I just want to go out there and get a win and, just play some good football.
There's no one you're looking forward to seeing or old former teammates or anything like that?
I'm looking forward to seeing AT&T pack and just getting the win.
I like that answer.
I like it too.
And they've got a whole new coaching staff. So there's, in fact, I was just asking Jayron before we went on the air, is there even anybody there that you know? And so there's a few guys on the defense still?
Yeah, it's still a couple guys in the secondary that I remember, that I played against, Amani, Jeff Okuda, one of my best friends, he's over there now, Mike Hughes. It's a couple guys that I'm familiar with, but, as far as just being excited to see any of them, I'm excited to get a win.
I mean, will it be weird for you? Your next, I mean, for those of you who don't know, before he came to Dallas, Jayron spent a year in Detroit and then 3 or 4 in Minnesota, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you for the next 4 games with the bye week stuck in the middle, you're right back in the NFC North. It's Minnesota. I mean, it's Detroit and Chicago here, and Green Bay and Minnesota there, and you must feel like you're going to be in a time warp or something looking at that schedule.
Yeah, I'm definitely familiar with them. Cold, very cold places. That's something that I remember vividly. Very cold places, especially Green Bay around that December time. So not looking forward to that.
Yeah, it won't be that cold.
I don't know.
No, it's going to be fall. The leaves are changing. It's going to be great, and it's going to be great for you, especially to take McCarthy back up to Green Bay and win a game.
Definitely. That one might hold a little more than me actually going to play Detroit, Minnesota. Getting Coach that win would be huge. He deserves it. But
we got ahead of ourselves because it is Detroit this week, and because they have a new coaching staff, you guys have to. By the way, do you know Dan Campbell at all?
Nah.
I love Dan Campbell. He was here, played here. He was a New York Giant. He's a Texan. He's from A&M. And he played for Parcells in New York, and then they brought him here. And then he went to New Orleans, and then he coached in Miami with Joe Philbin, as a matter of fact, your offensive line coach. And so now he's the head coach of the line. He's just a great guy. He's incredibly intense. He is just incredibly intense. And you might have some fun looking up some like YouTube videos of when he played, because you would have been covering him a little bit. He's a load now. He's a big man.
I remember his first press when he got the head coaching job. The things he was saying that sticks out to me. He said, we're gonna bite an ankle or something like that.
Right, it was a little unusual. Did you laugh?
I did.
And what would that be like? Look, he's old school. He's talking to guys like you, and as a veteran, let alone first, second year. But what would it be like playing for a coach who took that approach?
I mean, it's easy to respect a guy like that, just for the simple fact that he's went through this league. He's played in this league, and he knows what it takes. So anytime you hear something from a guy that played in this league, you have to open your ears and listen to him. So he knows what it takes, and I guess that got those guys going, and then also seeing them, watching them on
Hard Knocks.
HBO, Hard Knocks. So just to see the type of guy he is, you know, he seems like a pretty cool guy.
Oh no, you would like him. Now he's a trip, but he's all about it.
Yeah.
He is all about it.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, just kind of along those same lines with Mike McCarthy, it kind of feels like he's slowly coming out of his shell a little bit. We get bits and pieces of it when we get to talk to him at his press conferences. Have you noticed maybe a shift in his personality, or how, I guess, how does he express himself when he's around just you guys?
Coach is he's probably, if not the best coach I've ever had.
Ooh.
He's definitely up there. I love Coach McCarthy. Just because like the way he treats us in the building, you know, he's very communicative with us. Like he talks to us a lot, and you know he's not one of those coaches that's just it's my way or the highway. He takes inputs from his leaders in the room and the veterans, the Zach Martins,
of
the
which
Tyrants.
you are one.
Yeah, so just having a coach like that understands that, you know, like the coach is coach, but the players we have to do these things. So taking our input and actually implementing it into, you know, whether it's scheduling or practice or, you know, anything we may have to say, he's all for it if it's going to help us win. So that was one of the main things that when I got here, I didn't have in a lot of other places. That coach definitely showed me, and it works. You know, guys, we all in the locker room. We wanna play for him. We wanna fight for him, and we want nothing but the best. For the simple fact that, you know, he takes care of us, and the best way for us to take care of him is go out there and get wins.
So I heard something in camp this year from Joe Witt. Tremendous coach. Basically, he coaches for those of you who don't know, coaches the defensive side of the passing game, but works a lot with the safeties.
Mm-hmm.
And what I didn't know was that he and Dan Quinn were recruiting you pretty hard in Atlanta before you came here.
Yeah, actually, it was when it came down after my fourth year in Minnesota. I became a free agent. It was Detroit or Atlanta, and you know, I decided to go with Detroit. But
Was that all about money, or
it was all money. It was all about
okay, good.
it was all
Hey,
about money.
by the way, it's professional football. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Even now in college, though. We'll get
Well,
to that
yes,
in a minute.
that's
but
exactly right. Now with
Yeah.
with an NIL, you could get bling like that big JK.
Yeah.
That's a hubcap that you're wearing. I like it.
Well, yeah, it was definitely all about money. Then you know, God works in mysterious ways. So, you know, we all end up right where we need to be, and that's here, and, you know, trying to bring Doomsday back. So
The reason that okay, now you gave me something else to talk about later. The reason that I brought up the fact that Quinn and Witt wanted you in Atlanta is all these guys say they knew what you were as a player, and Dan and Joe certainly had a plan for you if they had gotten you to Atlanta, which obviously followed along the plan. But what they did not have an appreciation for was your leadership and the force of your personality. Have you just been given an opportunity for that part of you to develop and stand out more here than in the other places you've been?
yeah, I think it just came with, you know, with me being older. When I came here, you know, I came here year 6, and it was, you know, a lot of guys younger than me. Rather than when I was in Minnesota, year 1, year 2, I was the young guy, so it's not really much leading I was doing, you know. So when I got here, it just was, you know, I was the old guy in the room, and, you know, it just called for me to be that guy that, you know, try to pick guys up and lead the way. You know, I played on great defenses in Minnesota, so I knew what it took. So it was all just about me trying to speak to those guys and speak that into those guys on, you know, like the things that it takes to be a great defense. We have it, but, you know, it's going to be more than just me getting up here and talking to you guys about it.
Now that you're on the other side of that, you know, taking a step closer into being a leader, being a veteran in this league, what's maybe something you would tell your younger self in that first couple of years in Minnesota that you maybe wish you would have known on the back end of it?
What a good question.
Take care of your body. Take care of your body. The things I do now to make sure, like, I'm getting ready for that next game. is light years ahead of what I was doing in Minnesota.
What were
when
you
I
doing
was
in
young.
Those
Minnesota,
massages
JK?
help, I guess.
What were you doing in Minnesota?
Nothing. Nothing. Just being a young guy, finishing the game and just knowing, okay, my body feels good, I can go do it again rather than, prehab. Like taking care of your body before you have to take care of your body. So, but now it's, getting old.
Getting old.
Don't look at me and talk about getting old. You know that is God's way of showing that He has a sense of humor. Because when you're young, you just don't even know that prehab exists.
Exactly. You just going with the flow. You just playing football. Playing football.
And just so everybody can kind of get an understanding of what that looks like, can you just tell us maybe some of the things that you're doing in that prehab versus what you're doing in rehab or maybe post-practice, post-game?
Prehab is just like, like say I don't have an ankle. I don't have an ankle injury, but I kind of feel my ankle like it's a bit tight. I'm going to get that worked on. Not after I sprain my ankle. Now I want to get it worked on. Now I'm going to work on it before I even have to work on it. Rehab is just, you hurt something and now you want to try to get it back going. So I think prehab is top. It's top when it comes to keeping your body fresh because, you don't want to have to take care of everything after you have an injury or after you nick yourself up. You want to take care of that before that. So then, it doesn't even become a problem because you took care of it in the early stages.
But if year 7, JK, had said those things that Haley is talking about to year 2, JK, would year 2 JK have said, "Yeah, okay, thanks, old man, appreciate it"?
Yeah, I probably would have said thank you. I'll try. And probably wouldn't.
It probably wouldn't. Okay. Yes, wisdom hopefully comes with age. Jayron Kearse, our guest at Concrete Cowboy in the Star District in Frisco. It's the Cowboys Hour with Haley Sutton. We'll be right back.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Welcome back to the Concrete Cowboy here in the Star District in Frisco. The Cowboys Hour is presented by Lucchese, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys. We have been spending so much time getting to know Jayron Kearse. We've talked football. We've talked a little bit of rehab. I kind of want to take you back, something we mentioned briefly earlier, obviously, with the NIL era kind of going on right now. You played at Clemson. If you could have an NIL deal, what would your NIL deal be?
That's tough. I don't know. I'm actually not a big fan of the NIL.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan.
Say more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tell me why.
I just believe that like getting to the league, into the NFL was like, you wanted the money, you wanted to be in the league, and that drove you every day through practice. But I feel like, when you sign an NIL, like, you got guys signing $3 million NILs. They're making more than players in the league that's been in the league for 3 years. It's like that's something that, I definitely believe players should get paid, but I believe, like, let's finish school and then you got to get paid.
Now, Jayron Kearse, are you here to tell us that top-level players who go to Clemson University to play football are not acquainted with some kind of inducements to make their lives easier?
Nah, not that I can remember.
Your Honor, I don't recall.
Plead the fifth on that one.
All right.
But sticking on those same lines, obviously your Tigers are doing pretty well this year. What's been your impressions of them and the season that they're having so far?
For me, it's kind of what it is for us. I feel like they're not even playing their best ball yet. Where I feel like, games that shouldn't be close are a little close. I'm used to seeing when you playing against the Wake Forest and the Boston Colleges, complete blowouts. And just right now, we're winning those games, but it's not.
No, Wake's pretty good this year.
Yeah, I meant they were always pretty good.
Okay, all right.
Look at that!
Okay.
Look at that hair flip. He said they were always good. We're just better.
So it's I just believe they're still as they're going through the season, they're getting better, and I know coaches are pushing them to when it comes to certain games, you should win certain games comfortably. Like, it should be blowouts, and right now, that's not necessarily being done, but I think as the season goes on, and they just understand better that those things will get done.
Well, who's going to push them in their league, though?
It's all about. I mean, it was the same way when I was there. Nobody really pushed us, but you got to understand that. When you get out of the ACC, you have the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Tennessee.
Yeah,
like,
now we're talking about Tennessee.
Those are the guys that you might not get pushed by the North Carolinas, but the ultimate goal is a national championship, and those are the guys you're going to see in that. So you have to push yourself to know that this is not close to the level of competition we're going to play when it comes to college playoff time.
We got a little gust of wind, blew an empty water bottle away, okay?
Neither of us were prepared for that. So were you surprised by do you keep up with college football in your spare time at all?
Yeah, I do some.
Were you surprised at the way the AP Top 25 shifted with that huge upset over Tennessee and Bama?
Not too much, because I expected, especially going into it, Tennessee had a great offense, so when they beat them, I expected them to jump a lot of people.
Did you expect them to throw the goalposts in the river?
I didn't expect that, but we actually watched the game. We watched the game. We were in Philly, and it was just like, once you win a game you're not supposed to win, all bets off. You do whatever you want to do for that night. So.
Have you ever had a game like that?
Nah, because every game we won, we were supposed to win. So.
Okay, for those folks who didn't get a chance to be at or hear the Cowboy Hour when you were on last year, and certainly for Haley, who is one of the ones getting to know you. We found out that you are a bit of a fashionista.
Yeah. I like to dress up.
Said yeah so subtly while
he-
he's dressed to the nines
He
over
likes,
here.
He likes to dress up. So what kinds of things? Let's just start with a game day wardrobe. What kinds of decision making goes into your planning a game day wardrobe, and is there any difference home and road?
It's for me. It's weather, and how I'm feeling. Some days I might just feel like just being cool, being cozy. Some days I might want to do a bit more. So,
What? I'm just so uncomfortable with all of the things that are happening in my head right now.
No,
What,
but I can respect that though, because I'm kind of the same way. I like to think I'm pretty trendy. I like to think I'm pretty fashionable, and it does depend on your mood. Some days you will show up and you want to wear jeans and a cute pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
Some days you want to show up and wear a dress.
Do you have a pair of sneakers that you would call cute?
no, nah.
No, that's it.
I would probably call them
You would
that.
call them cute.
I called these cute sneakers when you came
Okay,
in.
you
So.
call them cute. So, like, what did you wear to the game in Philadelphia?
I wore some jeans, some Capital jeans, with like it has like the bones on the side of them, basically your femur going down your leg on the outside. I actually wore these shoes.
How would you describe that color of your shoes?
It's a tangerine.
That's the word that I had in mind.
So
Tangerine.
tangerine orange, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I forgot. I wore a jacket. I forgot what jacket I wore.
This was yesterday, JK.
Yeah,
This is not a good sign.
Let me ask you this, because this is kind of a rule of thumb that I always struggle with. Are you an outfit repeater, or is that like a no-go? Because for me, I try my best not to repeat outfits.
I'm not much of an outfit repeater, but it all depends. It all depends. Especially not like a game day. I'm not going to repeat an outfit that
Couldn't be caught dead in the same outfit.
Yeah, like I wouldn't do that because I've got pictures. I probably posted the pictures. I'm not going to wear that again. But
These are serious things. Rod.
No,
You
I
have to
understand. I understand. But what happens if you win a big game in an outfit? Superstitious at all?
I'm very superstitious. Like last year, the Chiefs game. When I had a good game. I got my first pick. I carried that bag for the rest of the year until, like, the bag that I had. I wore that bag to the rest of the year. So, I'm very I'm superstitious when it comes to a lot of things. If it worked for me one week, I'm definitely going to do the same thing the next week.
Now, do you know yet what you'll wear Sunday, or do you have to wait until you see how the week goes and what you feel like?
I kind of have three outfits in mind, and then it'll just come down to, all right, I'm gonna wear this.
And how do you make the choice between the three? Is it all just
Riveting
instinct?
journalism right now.
No, I mean
it's all just, all right, this is how I'm feeling right now. I think this would be good for today. So that's really how it comes down, and then it also depends on. It's a primetime game. This is a noon game,
right.
So I'm not really thinking, okay, let me.
So you don't really care. You're right.
I care to make sure I'm looking good, but not to the extent of this is a Monday night, it's a Sunday night, Thursday. It's
okay.
That all goes into it.
So the people who see you mostly see you, and they know what you're going to be wearing. You're going to be wearing a white jersey and silver pants and a helmet. Now Haley's going to be on camera on DallasCowboys.com. And do you follow the same rule if it's a noon game as opposed to a primetime game as Jayron?
I think that you never know who you're going to meet. That's my rule of thumb. So I do my best to, like when I go to the grocery store, I try my best not to dress bummy. You know, I'm not gonna wear like heels to the grocery store unless I'm leaving work.
See,
but
I agree with that.
yeah,
as well.
like you never know who you're gonna see. You never know who you're gonna meet. Like at the airport, like I know that's kind of a conversation of people who wear sweats versus jeans. I always try to look nice at the airport because, especially coming from Miami, when I just moved here, you would see everybody at the airport in Miami. So I don't ever want someone to catch me lacking. So I go all out, whether it's a noon game, a primetime game, or practice.
I look forward to both of you getting to the age I've reached where my primary interests in life are comfort and convenience.
See, but you can do both. You can be fashionable and you can be comfortable.
I think
look at this. Look at us.
Yeah, I think it goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. I would never encourage someone to wear something just because it looks good. If it doesn't feel good, I would.
Have you ever worn something just because it looked good?
I actually have a pair of Marnie slippers that look good, but they feel terrible.
But you wear them.
I wear them.
I can relate to that.
I wear them.
Any high heels.
But we were talking about you, and we're kind of.
No, we're not talking about me. We're talking about both of you, and we will give our audience here at Concrete Cowboy a chance to get in on all of this. Jayron Kearse is our guest on the Cowboys Hour this evening, and we'll have the microphone to pass around to those of you who have questions. So hold your hand up when we come back on the Cowboys Hour.
Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Back to the Cowboys Hour, presented by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. We have been chatting with the self-proclaimed best-dressed player on the Dallas Cowboys roster, Jayron Kearse. He just told me he is, in fact, the best. Yeah, give it up for this outfit, guys. We've been spending so much time getting to know you, Jayron. We really appreciate it. We've been talking about fashion. We've talked about college. What's maybe something, before we get to fan questions out here, what's something maybe that people don't know about you, maybe a secret talent that you have or something you do in your spare time that maybe people don't know about?
I'm a pretty good bowler. Oh. I love bowling.
Okay. What's your highest score?
252.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
I'm a pretty good bowler.
Well, how often do you do it?
It's really mainly an off-season thing. When I don't have much to do, off-season workout, and then me and my cousins will go to the bowling alley.
Do you bring your own ball? Or are you that person?
Yeah, I have 5. My own shoes.
Does it make a difference?
It does. Comfortable. I'm comfortable.
That's why
I'm
not
comfortable
very
with
good
them,
at bowling.
Listen to this, what I'm going to ask. You have bowling outfits to match the colors of the ball that you're going to use?
Nah. When it comes to bowling, I want to be extremely comfortable.
Okay.
So, just comfortable.
But how many different colors of bowling balls do you own? You have 5 bowling balls.
All of them are different colors.
All different colors.
Yeah. So it's easy for me to know that, like, I got a ball that I like to use when I'm going for a strike or when I got one pin up. So it's
Wait, you take all
I was gonna
5
say, you take
balls
all of them
with you?
with
Yes.
So you got like a certain ball for early frames or for
Yeah.
I can't. This is, like I said, this is why I'm bad at bowling, because I just take whatever they give me.
Seriously, I just.
But that's how it started out. I would just go bowl, and the balls that they had there I would use, and then I started getting into it more, and then I realized that I can be a much better bowler if I had, the right balls, the balls that I don't really spin much, or balls that I use that I spin a lot, and it's a difference. It makes a big difference.
Is one of them a spare ball?
Yes.
And is one of them like a 7-10 spare ball?
Nah, it's really more just like if I'm trying to just get a strike, like I don't want too much spin on that one.
Right.
But like when I'm going or it's the opposite. When I'm trying to get a strike, I use my ball that I have a lot of spin with, because I want to catch that pocket between 1 and 3.
Right.
Or like if I have maybe one pin up, I don't want too much spin on it, because I'm going to try to just catch this pocket.
Is only one of the 5 a strike ball?
No. 3 of them. So it's like if I'm.
This is a science. I have learned
like
so much.
I am saying.
It's like if I'm bowling and say maybe the first 2 or 3 frames I use this ball and I didn't catch my strike, I'm going to use another ball.
Okay.
So.
But the first ball can get back in your good graces next time you go bowling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It all depends on the bowling alley I'm at in the lane, because a lot of lanes don't give you the same spin. It's maybe too much oil or something like that. So.
And you combine that scientific mind with a forgiving heart, and I just think that's wonderful. I think that's something we didn't always do. All right, Joe Trahan has a mic. Let's see what the audience is thinking about.
Hey, Jayron, my name is Bill. My question for you is, we know you go around the locker room as JK, obviously. Do you have any other nicknames? I'm hearing maybe of the Freak, and where did it come from?
My uncle was called the Freak. Through his playing days with Tennessee and Philly. But another name, they call me Big Body, being that I'm a safety and I'm big for a safety. So that's another nickname, and then obviously the JK. So
You gave your safety room, though, a nickname as well, the 3-headed monster. Can you explain that really quickly?
It's just. We have 3 very good safeties that I feel like is the best in the league, and it's just self-explanatory for I feel like we match up with anybody in the league when it comes to having the best 3 safeties you can put on the field at one time.
What's up, Jayron? My name is Corey. My question is, I still think y'all the best defense in the league. But my question is, what do you think y'all can just improve on, just going through this week and the rest of the season to is there like a next elite level or type tier that y'all may want to get to?
In this league, it's hard to pitch a shutout. So I think doing that against anybody is a tremendous step. But in order to do that, I think we have to take the next step as far as being accountable and just understanding that we all have a unique role in this, and doing our job the best that we can helps everybody. So I think that's the next step we have to take in order to reach that elite level. And pitching a shutout this year would be one of those things that's top of the line when you can do that in the NFL.
Hello, Jayron. This is Rambo. Question. Tyler Smith last week said that on the way to Philly, they were recommending not to take family members, to basically discourage them to go to the Philly game because the fan base was so rowdy. Did you discourage any family members to go to Philly yesterday?
I didn't, but that's definitely a tough place when it comes to having your family there. We played them in the NFC Championship my years in one of my years in Minnesota, the year they won the Super Bowl, and it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous for us being there and the fans that traveled, and then our family members that traveled. It was a crazy one, especially since they were getting ready to go to the Super Bowl after beating us. Very disrespectful. So I can see why you would, try to discourage any of your family from going to that game.
My name's Abby, and I'm wondering if you think that you're the best dressed on the team, who's the second best?
Ooh, good question, Abby.
And where can Abby go to make her own decision about that? How can she?
I would say it's probably it's close between. I got three other guys I think it's close between Trayvon, Jordan Lewis, and Nashawn Wright.
All defensive
I
backs.
was going to say, shocker.
How about that? All defensive backs.
Well, I think I'm the best dressed on the team, but I definitely know for a fact we're the best dressed
position
group on the team.
Not disputable.
Hey, JK, it's Ken James. I had a quick question. As you guys are 4-2, we see everything that Cooper Rush has done and Dak possibly coming back. What positive things can you say about the Cooper Rush experience as he has brought us to a place of being pretty in a good position to achieve?
The things Coop was able to do is things that a lot of backups can't do, especially being in a position that he was in where he didn't have much experience starting. You have some backups that's been in the league for 7-8 years, and like you look at the Geno Smiths, where he's had times where he was a starter. He has that experience. Coop didn't have any of that experience, but when he got out on the field, he had poise in tough situations and was able to give us the best opportunity to win games, being a smart quarterback, knowing what he had to do, knowing the checks, knowing what he can and can't do, knowing the throws he can't make. So Coop, just about as important as anybody else on this team, and being at this point that we are at now, after losing, you lose Dak week 1, a lot of people wrote us off, and to be week 6 going into week 7 and being 4-2, a lot of people didn't see this coming other than the guys in that locker room. So, that's kudos to Coop and having this opportunity, having this chance, and going out there and seizing the moment.
If you hear the little almost imperceptible tremor in Jayron's voice, it's because the wind has picked up,
cold.
and he's wearing a T-shirt.
So
and
cold.
We're all a little chilly up here. So just we've only got about a minute and a half left. You talked about the difficulty of pitching a shutout, and Detroit is one of the highest scoring teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Are you aware that New England shut them out 2 weeks ago?
I am aware of that.
Oh,
I am aware of
okay.
that. I'm aware of a lot of games when I see a shutout, because you just don't see that a lot in the NFL. Like I said, I've been in the league 7 years, and I think I've been a part of maybe 1 or 2, and that's tough to do. So that's a sign of an elite defense.
You're looking forward to watching that tape, aren't you?
Yes, I'm we're gonna see what they did and try to steal bits and pieces of it.
Last thing, you mentioned Doomsday before, and longtime Cowboy fans know that was the name that was given to the Dallas defense when they first really became an elite team in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
There would be no particular reason, unless you really were a student of your environment, for someone like you to know anything about Doomsday. Why do you know about Doomsday, and what do you know?
It's just when it comes down to like tradition of, like where I play at, like you have the when I played in Minnesota, the Purple People Eaters. Like you just know about those traditions of guys that did the same things that you're trying to do. So being here and trying to be that elite defense, the guys that did it before you. So that's something that's the reason why I know about it, and just being a part of something that we're trying to achieve. You have the Bears that had a great defense.
I'm cutting you off. That's Jayron Kearse. Good night, everybody.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!